I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. The Michigan Taiwanese American Organization, or MiTai, brings culture from the Far East to our doorsteps through free community events. Watch as renowned musicians share their skills at the Ann Arbor District Library.
MiTai is a local organization here in Michigan that works to raise the profile of Taiwanese culture and encouraging members of the local community to engage and learn more about Taiwan and Taiwanese culture.
We bring in the best cultures of Taiwan, and then we do an exchange right here in Ann Arbor and Detroit, Crains, and all the Southeast Michigan area. We like them to learn more about what's been going on overseas there, and so bring our cultures there as well.
我们台湾国乐团是中华民国的国家级国乐团，那目前是文化部国立传统艺术中心的派驻单位。
The reason we want everyone to come is that you get to see the individual soloists to perform individual piece.
我们团员，因为我们的国乐团是国家级的，所以基本上是很难考的，所以基本上今天来的5位团员都是乐团的声部首席，都是台湾最顶尖、最厉害的。
Most people are not going to be able to really listen to those great music.
这首曲子呢，我是用了3首台湾歌谣而编成的。因为我觉得，如果我们来这边只演奏一首，大家听的就比较没有这么的满足，所以我就把3首的歌谣把它编成了一首曲子。
One of the best things that we think that Ann Arbor has to offer is that we all, incorporate and accept other, cultures from our hearts. So we think this is the best way to introduce them by bringing them over here to show the audience here.
For more on all that MiTai offers Southeast Michigan, visit mitiaa.weebly.com. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. Ann Arbor is home to more than 160 parks with scenic views, places to play, and some top-notch facilities. See all that Mack Indoor Pool has to offer during this park peak. Mack Indoor Pool is the only City of Ann Arbor Parks indoor public pool and offers a variety of programs and opportunities for every swimmer. The pool is located inside of Mack School, which is known today as Ann Arbor Open at Mack School. The school was originally built in 1922, and in the years since, it has gone from being Ann Arbor's newest school building to its oldest. The pool, added in 1974, features a 6-lane, 25-yard main pool with an attached 30 by 42-foot children's tot pool. A ramp leading into the pool provides for easy accessibility. The heated indoor pool provides a summer-like experience even in the cold winter months. For more, visit a2gov.org/Mack. It's the snowy season, and there's some need-to-know information for residents and businesses alike as they keep their sidewalks safe for pedestrians. Learn about snow removal guidelines in the City of Ann Arbor in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hello, my name is Robert Keller with the City of Ann Arbor. Winter means snow and ice, and that makes it hard for people to get around the city, especially pedestrians. So as a resident and business, you need to do your part and help clear your sidewalks of ice and snow. What does that mean? Well, for residents, it means any snow accumulation greater than 1 inch has to be cleared within 24 hours. If you're a business, any snow accumulation by 6 a.m. needs to be cleared by noon the same day. So help do your part, clear your adjacent sidewalks, crosswalk ramps, and any concrete bus stops that may be adjacent to your property, and help make it easier for people to get around the great city of Ann Arbor.
For more than 20 years, Oxford Company has been the premier commercial real estate company serving the Ann Arbor area. Services include property management, commercial and residential real estate, and investment into the community. Oxford's bold and cutting-edge approach to the profession has made it one of the best places to work in 2023 in Southeast Michigan, honored by Crains Detroit Business. Joining me is Dan Cairns, creative lead for Oxford Companies. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Why don't you first start off with, how Oxford Company has made such a big impact on the Ann Arbor community? I don't think you could live and work in this area without knowing the Oxford name.
Oxford has made such a big impact in Ann Arbor by giving the community so many great places to work and live.
I moved to Ann Arbor about 15 years ago now. And by the time I showed up, Oxford Companies was already like a presence here. I can't imagine what it was like prior to that, because I feel like I said, everywhere you go, everybody knows the name Oxford Companies. What about you? How long have you lived in the area? How long have you worked for Oxford?
I live just north of Ann Arbor. I've been here with my wife for a little more than 7 years, and I've been with Oxford for 6.5 years now.
Yeah, so what in your mind has made Oxford the place where you would want to continue to work for 6.5 years? Because that's a decent run at a job.
It is, and earlier on in my career and growing up, it was hard for me to imagine having a job that I actually looked forward to going to every day. And that's absolutely the case with Oxford. And I know that my experience is slightly unique to me, but I think at Oxford, we give our employees a lot of empowerment to do their jobs the way they think they should be done. And we all work really well as a team, so none of us necessarily go rogue necessarily.
Yeah, we'll talk about that teamwork aspect, because I feel like what we're talking about today is Oxford being one of the best places to work in 2023. Mm-hmm. And I think that is sort of a big deal when you think about teamwork, how the employees interact with each other. Mm-hmm. So what sort of sets Oxford apart with this teamwork aspect?
I think it all really starts with very open communication from our CEO. He is seen around the office every day, and he sends out a weekly email every week, as well as quarterly company meetings. So everyone at Oxford is on the same page with how our business is doing and what our goals are and what next steps we have.
Have you seen the company sort of evolve once the pandemic hit, and have some of those changes? Because I know personally from the city of Ann Arbor standpoint where I work, that there's definitely been some big changes that have happened since 2020, which I personally feel like have made it easier for my life. And I feel like I'm happier at work now because of it.
Why do you feel like you're happier at work?
Because I have more
flexibility. If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I have more flexibility now than I used to. It used to be that you were in the office Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day. You had to get childcare. You had, you could only leave for 30 minutes for a break. And now it's like I'm working from home 90+% of the time. I can go in the office as I please to use the things that I need to use, but there's no, I'm not being micromanaged in the office in any way, which I don't know if I ever really was, but there's a certain feelings about having to be in the office all the time as opposed to being able to work more freely.
Yeah. What's great is that before the pandemic happened, we had a pretty flexible work schedule. We were allowed to work from home up to 2 days a week. There was never anyone micromanaging anyone to make sure they were at the office for 8 full hours. Business has changed. It is, commercial real estate is our business, and having people in office space is, the core of our business. But there's a lot of opportunities going forward with potential developments in the south side of Ann Arbor. And also, thankfully, the multifamily market in Ann Arbor is always extremely strong thanks to the university. And having an in-house construction and design team helps fill any gaps we may have between leasing spaces.
How many, do you know offhand how many employees Oxford Company has?
We have just under 100.
Okay, so that's a decent amount. Are a lot of the employees sort of in this area, Washtenaw County, or they're coming from other places? Because I know Ann Arbor can be a commuter place to work.
We have one person driving in from Ohio, one person driving in from Adrian, and as far as I know, that's the furthest anyone drives. So it's mostly Washtenaw, some Wayne County, and some Livingston County.
Yeah, but I think it's also a testament to the place that you work if you have employees that are willing to commute to work, because you're not going to stay at a place that you don't like if you have to drive a decent amount.
Unless if, we have a very special or very important meeting going on, there's no hard and fast start time to work. Some employees get in at 7:30, some people get in at 9, some people get in a little bit later.
Yeah, which is also something I think that because when we're talking about this Crains recognition, how they do it, can you tell us how they measure the best places to work in 2023? Because it really has to do with the employees, right?
Yep. So every employee is given a link to a survey. It's about, I would say it probably takes about 30 minutes. Most of it is questions where you either strongly disagree or strongly agree with questions such as, I understand where the company is financially, I'm happy with my job, I like my manager and whatnot. And then there's a few questions where it's, what things do you love most about your job? And what are some things that would make you possibly want to leave your job? That information is collected, aggregated, put up against, I don't know, maybe the other 1,000 or so companies that apply to win this award. And best win. Obviously.
Is this your first recognition from Crains? Is this Oxford's first time recognition?
We were recognized in 2019, and that was our first time.
Okay, so 2 times, which is sort of a big deal. You're saying around 1,000, maybe more companies in Southeast Michigan are applying for this.
Yep.
So what does it mean to Oxford to actually get this recognition in 2023 and in 2019 and to have it twice?
Everyone I know at Oxford, like me, we love our jobs. So being able to do more than just tell people that we like where we work, we can show that we work at a place that's doing things right. We work at a place that actually cares about us, and we've gotten recognized for this. It's a big sense of pride for everyone at Oxford.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah. Do you feel like Oxford's always sort of pushing to be progressive with their real estate part of the business and with the employees? Like, for instance, I know I just interviewed rep from Oxford about you guys caring about sustainable lawn care, which is working with the city of Ann Arbor to reach their sustainability goals.
Yeah, absolutely. It starts definitely most with making sure our employees are happy. And that comes with, accommodating them to what employees expect to have. Now it's a lot of flexible, like I talked about, flexible schedules, a ton of career advancement opportunities. And as far as like trying to stay progressive with our business, yeah. So we interviewed Mike Van Patten with our decision to go electric with mowing our lawns. We're always looking to any LEED certification we can get in our buildings, any not necessarily cost saving, but energy saving matters that we can do in any of our properties as well. We are getting 2 electric vehicles starting in early 2024, and I'm not sure when we plan to convert to a full electric fleet, but it's something we like to accomplish as well.
No, that's pretty amazing. And we all know these things cost money, but some companies that are like bigger, like Oxford, you don't know if they're willing to spend the money to do things that aren't necessarily going to make them money. But I feel like Oxford, that isn't the stance that they take when it comes to business.
No, like I said, our number one focus is making sure our employees are happy. And we need to make sure that our tenants in the city of Ann Arbor are happy. It's Ann Arbor is our livelihood. If Ann Arbor is not successful, not happy, then we're not doing well.
Why don't you talk about your personal experience at work and, do you feel like, I think sometimes people can have too many managers at work or, like it just feels like sometimes, like you said, you don't feel micromanaged at work. So how
Never.
does Oxford approach that to make people feel like they have that freedom at work, but they also want to make sure they're getting the job done?
I think the answer is simple, and that is our upper management, they listen to all the feedback that anyone has to give. If somebody's feeling like they may be, we use the analogy, on the wrong seat of the bus, we try to move them to the right seat where they can be successful at Oxford.
Can you discuss that ability to grow within the company too? Because I feel like that is also a roadblock for many people when they find their career and then you sort of stay somewhere, but you're stuck. You can't, there's no
Yeah,
room to get higher up the ladder.
I can talk about myself specifically. I started at Oxford as the communications coordinator, and I was responsible for basically a lot of copywriting and internal communications. And for me, any opportunity I saw to maybe make an improvement to the website or make an improvement to a graphic that we're using, if it got approved, I was able to go for it. And giving me that sense of empowerment is what helped me, grow into a position that I loved. And I know that the situation is the same for anyone else, whether they work in accounting, if a process may seem wrong, if they work in multifamily, if they work in commercial or construction as well.
You mentioned earlier too about it's important for obviously the employees to be happy at work, but the tenants too. And I think that's like an important aspect to talk about because you can hear a lot of people complain about their landlord and stuff. There's a lot
Landlord
of,
is a dirty word.
yeah, yeah. So what makes Oxford make sure that people are satisfied when they are renting properties, commercial properties and residential properties?
Again, it comes back to feedback. We send out net promoter score surveys every year. Actually, maybe 2 or 3 times a year to all of our tenants because we want to hear, how are we doing? Is there anything we're doing that could be better? Is there anything that we're doing that you don't like? And we listen.
Can you talk specifically about the Crains recognition? Like, what is Crains? What does it mean to businesses in the area?
Every decision maker at a company does probably look at Crains at least once a week or so. Having that recognition from that level of organization is going to mean anything more to us.
Do you foresee, the future of Oxford companies and just growing, having more employees, more properties?
With the state of commercial real estate, with some tenants downsizing, some tenants leaving their office, we see a huge potential for the south side of Ann Arbor. When I say south side, I mean the State and Eisenhower district, for there to be many more amenities that make it not so much an alternative to downtown, but an accessory to downtown, a place where people want to be, not a place where people just go to work and drive home. Um, there's options to put a lot of multifamily housing, entertainment options, healthcare options as well.
I'm excited that Oxford Companies wants to build up that area of town because that's
Mhm,
personally where I live. And
mhm,
so it can be like a dead zone in town, I feel like, where there's not as much going on. You have to go to the downtown, but then you don't want to deal with like all the students and parking and everything in the
mhm,
downtown. So to have things more readily available in this area
mhm.
is super exciting.
It is, and it helps one of our core values, which is helping Ann Arbor grow. We can give Ann Arbor, residents and tenants places to live and work, but if we can give the opportunity for more businesses to relocate to Ann Arbor, we're essentially, helping improve our city's economy.
Well, we're just about out of time, but before we go, we're really talking about this recognition as Oxford companies being one of the best places to work in Southeast Michigan. We're right
Mhm.
here in Ann Arbor. If you were talking to somebody and they were interested in getting a job at Oxford companies, what would you personally tell them? Why they should apply for that job?
I would say even if there's not an open job for what you're looking for, we have an option to upload our resume at Oxford. We look to hire the best. And if somebody's talent and expertise and also personality has an opportunity to make things better, we will definitely listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, and I think that's a really big thing because I feel like a lot of jobs, your voice is not always heard. And to
Mhm.
have an employer that's basically saying, I do care about what you have to say, you can make a difference.
It does sometimes does sound cliche. I mean, I think every employer likes to say it, but when you get the recognition like Oxford does, we have, the proof to back those claims up.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Dan, for talking to me
Thank
about
you.
this recognition with Crains Business.
Thank you.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching and tune in next time to FYI.